NBC News Wall Street Journal poll out today. Devastating for the Republicans, and they know it. They are running for the hills. They're scrambling. They're trying to figure out what happened. Let me show you the numbers. GOP blamed for the shutdown 53 to 31 compared to President Obama. That is a gigantic 22-point difference. Approval rating for the Republican Party, 24%, lowest it has ever been. Tea Party, down to 21%, only 1/5 of the country can stand you. Democratic Party approval, like this is not a great number, it's 39%, right?
But for a major political party in this era, 4 out of 10 people support you? That's amazing.
Yeah. One, in that context, it's really good. Two, compared to the 24% the Republicans have, it's a 15-point swing. Look, there's
it's
usually
not just a 15-point swing. I mean, it is just a 15-point swing. Let's be clear on that. But it's a huge percentage. What is that? That's 60. It's 60% more.
Yeah, and so I know. I know.
Fuck did you just
I knew you were going to hurt Jimmy's head. I knew it.
39% is 60% more than 24%.
Yeah, but
Think
it's only
about it.
15% of the people.
I only understand 20% of what you just said.
But it's right 100% of the time. Okay, so now, here comes the good news for the Republicans. Don't fret, guys, because President Obama's approval rating is 47%. That's 2 points higher than it used to be.
And his
really?
And his disapproval rating is 41. So it's a net 6.
He's almost the only politician. In fact, I think in another poll I saw, he's literally the only politician in the country that has a national, not like governors and stuff like that has a net approval rating, higher approval than disapproval. Yeah. Like Harry Reid, Boehner, Ted Cruz, McConnell, they're all despised. Okay.
Let me just say that Obama's approval rating is 14% higher than his disapproval rating.
Stop that, all right? First of all, stop that. Secondly, Obama is blessed with just horrible enemies. And this is just, these guys, they are the wind beneath his wings. These Tea Party Republicans, they are just lifting him up because he looks so much saner and more rational and more reasonable that they are really making him fly.
Yeah, they are. And let me get to the specifics on the policy in 1 second. One more on overall numbers. Voters were 8 points more likely to say they prefer a Democratic-controlled Congress over a Republican-controlled Congress. Now, that's the number that they care most about because that means they might lose their seats, right? Mm-hmm. So especially anyone in a vaguely purple district at this point among Republicans has to be in a cold sweat panic, and it appears that they are. And finally, to the policy issue that started all this, defunding Obamacare, that's what Ted Cruz and the House Republicans wanted to do. Well, support for the new health care law is up 8 points from September. Now, look, that could be due to a variety of factors, but they just launched it, but the launch was a tiny bit of a disaster because of the website issue. And nonetheless, it's 8 points up. It might be because people saying, well, I hate these Tea Party and Republican guys. If they're against it, screw it, I'm for it.
Well, I think also what happened is that, just like Nancy Pelosi said very inartfully, that let's pass the bill and then we'll find out what's in it. People are finding out what's in the bill. And the more they find out, like for instance, coming here, I listened to an AM station because they have traffic every 5 minutes. And they spent the whole day last Thursday, not yesterday, but the week before, explaining the whole day what Obamacare was and how you can use it. So now people are starting to find out. They're actually starting to get informed about what it is. And just like every other, Medicare Part D, people hated it and then they liked it. Same thing. So they're going to start liking it. And just like President Obama said, that as soon as it gets even more popular, it's not going to be Obamacare anymore. It's going to be the Affordable Care Act again. So
on that point, Medicare Part D, by the way, credit to George Bush for getting that passed. I mean, no credit for not paying for it. Right. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, and its most striking element needed to be fixed, but they fixed things.
Right. And there people were confused. They're like, how do I pay for these prescriptions? I don't know. And then by the end, when they figured it out, they're like, oh, it pays for my prescription drugs. I love it.
I love it.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so here, they're like, wait a minute, after all this demagoguery, are you telling me I can get health care? Yeah, that was the point. That was the point. They're like, oh, I jump in it. I kind of like it. And so as you see these numbers, guys, that's it. It's over. it's over. I mean, it's only a matter of how. I guess
over the shutdown.
The whole shutdown.
You think the shutdown's over?
Oh yeah. They're just playing out the string now. Okay, it's.
So what's how do we get out of it? So can I just say, well, here's what I think Barack Obama and the Democrats again made this harder than it had to be because he's such a bad negotiator, right? So they keep saying, why won't the Republicans take yes for an answer? Because that's not how you negotiate. I was telling Ben the other day, if you go in to buy a car, and the guy says, make me an offer, and you go, I'll offer you $20,000. And the guy goes, okay. You're like, shit.
Yeah.
Well, but it's more like this.
It's
more like this. If you go into the car dealer and you give the guy $20,000 and say, let's negotiate, then you're negotiating about how much more than $20,000 you're going to give him. You don't give him the money until the deal is done. The Democrats are already on record saying, we will give Republicans a budget that is tens of billions of dollars lower than the one they all voted for last year. They've already agreed to extend the sequestration in their vote. They gave it away on the money side. Well, so now, what else do they want? They're looking for whatever else they can get.
And this is the problem. So they didn't have any money to negotiate because they just accepted their first offer, and now Boehner's stuck between a rock and a hard place because he has no one to negotiate with over a number. At least they could give him that, but he didn't. He just took their number, so now he looks like Boehner can't look like a tough guy to his base because I got nothing to bitch about to him because he accepted our number. Again, bad negotiating. Barack should have came in with a higher number, so then he can go, well, I'll give on this.
I love
and he didn't.
I love it that needs to be explained to him. Like, I mean, you learn that when you're 9.
No kidding.
When you're negotiating over the milk and the Twinkies.
Yes.
Unless these are the results they want. And that will always be shrouded in mystery. But let me tell you, when the White House and a lot of Democrats and self-described progressives started bragging on the fact that the deficit is falling so quickly, I thought, why are you bragging about something we should be uncomfortable about? We should be ashamed that the deficit's falling when 22 million people are looking for work. We shouldn't be bragging about that. So I got to wonder how much is bad negotiation and how much is we don't know what their real end game is.
Well, anybody who watches the Young Turks fairly regularly, he knows that I think Obama is not a bad negotiator. He's not a progressive. He agrees with them. He wants these results. And part of the reason why he's considering right now this extension, and he would have taken it in a second. The Senate Democrats came around and they said, are you kidding me? A 6-week extension on one of the hostages? The two hostages are the debt ceiling and the government shutdown. Boehner comes in last night and says, all right, I'll release one of the hostages, but only for 6 weeks, right? For the debt ceiling. And Obama was on the verge of taking it. He's like, oh, I want to take it. Oh, I'm open to that. That's very interesting. I find it very, very interesting. And Reid has to come in and be like, what are you doing, guy? We got them. It's over. We got them. They're dead. Did you see the polls? What's going on? And it's because Obama wants the fake emergency so that he can come back and go, I only got 6 weeks left. Oh, I had to give away Social Security and Medicare.
Absolutely.
I had to do it. What can I do?
The end game is Social Security and Medicare. I'm convinced of that.
Absolutely. So, Jimmy, the bad negotiations where we already are $70 billion lower than the Senate proposal, we're already below the original draconian Paul Ryan proposal on spending. So that's just the appetizer. The real meal is Social Security and Medicare. That's what they're going after, and I think President Obama wants to do it. And he wants to do it so he can claim that he's bipartisan. And remember what he said in the beginning, I'm going to change Washington. I'm going to get us to work together. So he thinks in order for him to hang the mission accomplished sign, he has to get a grand bargain with the Republicans so he can say, see, I told you we were going to work together. We did this historic deal together. You see that? And now, in order to do that, he gave away everything.